Hi, and welcome back to the channel. This Xbox has been sent in by a viewer. He's purchased it off eBay as an RGH console. It came to him with a rattle, and it also stopped working after a while. So we're going to have a dig into this. I have already been through it. I'll show you the footage, everything that I did to get this working again. But yeah, it was pretty terrible, the way he was treated with it. He contacted the guy and they said there's something rattling, and he said it was magnets inside there. And then when he contacted him again about it not booting, he said, well, he must have dropped it or something like that. So it's not really good when you're purchasing things like that. So, and he's quite hard to be able to buy something and know it's from a reputable seller or anything like that. So he got in touch with me and asked if he could purchase one off me. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, why don't you send me yours? Let me take a look at it for you and let me see if I can fix it. And that's what I've done for him. I've repaired this free of charge, because I feel for the guy, to be honest. You buy something and then you've been sort of kind of scammed but not scammed, if you know what I mean. Poor workmanship is more to the fact, but you'll see that in the video. So this has only cost him the postage to send it to me and send it back. So I hope you enjoy the video. I did lose some footage on the way through. I'll try and edit it up so it's as good as I possibly can get it. It were only off the microscope that I lost half of the footage. But yeah, all right, okay, so let's get to it. So okay, we've got it down to the board. I'm going to take you under the microscope for you to have a look at these, but I'll try and fetch you it in, see if you can see. Well, they're not brilliant, these wirings. I will put some pictures up. That one, when you look at it under the microscope, is not. It doesn't even look connected. And there's long leads away from the insulation, which is not really good neither. And that was just completely disconnected. But you'll see it under the microscope. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to install one of these little PCBs, which they are called the QSB, the quick install boards, and you can get these from pcbway. And I'm going to be using that soldering iron, which again you can also purchase from pcbway, because that's where I got mine from. And on that note, and while I set up for the microscope, we'll have a word from our sponsors. So thanks very much for sponsoring this video, pcbway. Take it away. If you are enjoying these videos and you'd like to make things yourself, or you already are making things, then get yourself over to pcbway. They do everything from PCB prototypes to PCB assembly to flexible PCBs, HDI, CNC machining and 3D printing. They also do a lot of things in the shared projects, so if you have a look in there, there is a plethora of things that you can actually purchase. If you're wanting something from the Commodore 64 to the Spectrum to the Apple, everything's in there that you could possibly ever want. So get yourself down to PCBway. So ordering is very simple. So just navigate to the item that you want, add to cart, and this is where you fill in all your parameters. So we want single pieces. You can change the design panel. Got 5 pieces down here, and for $5 that's a bargain. Okay, let's take a look at the first one. Right, okay, so we'll go to this one that I was talking about that we just stuck on a little bit. Where's the wire? There you go. It's going to wobble a minute while I just tune that in a little bit. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do is just remove these wires, and I'm going to clean up these points as well. So you can see this wire, look. If I just gently pull on there, look. It has got a little bit of a grip on it, but not as much as we would like. So I'm just going to take that away. Off that point. And then I'm going to introduce a little bit of new solder. And then we'll clean that off before we solder it on properly. There we go. Looks a bit bigger, but I don't mind a decent sized blob like that. It's alright. We could take a little bit more off just to make it a little bit better, which I think I will. That'll do. So that one's cleaned up. You can see how small these points are, can't you? I mean, that's a Q-tip. Yeah, that looks good, doesn't it? That looks a lot better, does that? Right. Let's go to the other one. Other end of that wire. It should be around here somewhere. It's gone a bit too far. There. And you can see again that wire's not really soldered into it very well. So let's just take that away. That wire's gone. Right, let's put a little bit of solder on that and we'll clean that point. We'll let it flow a little bit. That's a nice decent blob on there. You'll see why we need a decent blob. Right, let's get down to the little one where you got to scrape it. Well, let's have a look at that. So that doesn't look particularly scraped that well. So I'm just going to have a little scrape at that. And see if I can clean that up a little bit more. All I'm doing is using the end of a tweezer. Yeah, maybe I should have cleaned this first. Let's clean that up. I'll put some of my flux on, which is Kingful, it's called. I've never heard of it. I normally use the other stuff, the Topnic No Clean. Might be a bit much there, but let's get some solder on it. You know, I've cleaned this soldering iron up. I thought I had, and now it doesn't want to stick at all. Let's just put that on there a little bit, see if I can pull away. I'll try again with a bit more. Yeah, that's about as best as we're going to get with that one, I think. Right, let's move on down to the last point down here, because cracked and all, to be fair. Take it away. More solder on it. And we'll give it a clean. That point's looking really good now. So I think we've got us 3 points now, haven't we? So let me go back over here and let get hold of that little quick install ball. Then you'll see why when I put it down, because these are quite thick, are these ones. So that's going down there. I want to try and get over to this side first and do this dodgy one. Dodgy, but you know what I mean. This dodgy one. So I want to try and pin that in there first, if I can. I think that's got it. Put a little bit more on. More on! Yep, that feels fixed down there now. We'll move down to this other one. And that is a 5.1k resistor I've put on there for the moment. We'll do this one up here. This one should go quite easily. We don't need any flux or anything there because it's already in the solder. There we go, that's on. The other point over here, which is only a mount really, it's just for holding position. When I find it, how's it gone? There we go. You can see there's a great big bridge there, so we can just jump that bridge. Like that. And then we've got our own post ports over here then. So there's some bits of wire somewhere. I don't know where the wires have gone. I took them off and they've vanished. Oh well, let's put our own wires on. Right, so all we need, right, when you're doing these wires, all you need is the tiniest bit. I mean, that's right. So I'm going to come in with cutters, and I'll show you under the microscope if I can do it. I can't see. Right, let me just get a grip of this. Now, can you see how much there is on the end of my wire there? There's even too much there, to be honest. If I release a bit, just go for a little nub, tiny little nub. You've got this tiniest little nubs. Look. Where are you? There. See it? That's all you need on the end of your wire. Now I'm going to go over to the first point to the right here, which is still dirty. There's some flux up there. Why is there flux up there? Let's get rid of that. Why is there flux up here? So where are we? Keep coming down, keep coming down. There we go, look. So I'm just going to solder that in there now. Flux on! What size is that tube? It's huge. God damn, you can squirt it. Thanks, phone. Right. So we can go in there now. Just go for a right little nub. That's all we need. Melt it in. There you go. little nub. You can see that's nice in there, look. In fact, it still looks out a little bit, so I'm just going to touch it a tiniest little bit more and see if I can get that inside. Yep, that's got it. So that then can come right up there neatly, up to that post point. I want to just snip a bit off the end of there, like that. And we'll take a bit of solder and put our solder onto the paste point, wherever it is there, look. Bob that up. That's a bit disgusting, but it don't look bad when you get the solder in, look. Okay, we'll do the bottom one while we're here as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this one is what I'm going to do is just get hold of that wire and I'm just going to warm it up on the edge of it, so it should just melt away, because we only need a little nubbing on the end. You can see it appear there, look. Can you just see it? I'll try and bring it a bit more into the shot. Yep, you can just see it, look. So all I need to do then is stuff that wire into the solder. It'll shrink back anyway, and that's in. So that's his post point. You can see how solid that is, look. So that's how I do my post points. Right, we'll go down to the FT2V1. FT2V1. Where are you? There we go. We'll adjust this a little bit. Oh, what am I after? Ah, yeah, there we go. Some flux on there. Hello. Yeah, it's just gone weird. Okay, cool. So you can see on that wire, look again, there's just a little nub of wire that you can see. So I'm going to come this at an angle because we're going diagonally across the board when we do it. Right, so I'm going to come into this at an angle because we're going to go diagonally across the board once this is on. So gently, let's see if I can do this without. Try not to touch it there. Let me bend the wire. That's a lot better. Nice and solid. We can come up to the other point. Wherever it's gone, where are we? Come on, where are you? I'm losing you. There we go. We can just bring the wire up to that one. Wow, that is very short. You're melting again. Slide your wire in. Let it set. We're done. Right. So I'm going to give that a good thermal paste. Right, so I'm going to give that a good clean down with some IPA now, and then I'm going to put the heatsink back on and let's see if it'll boot up. Right, okay, I'm going to set up best as I can so you can see some of the screen and see the Xbox as well down here. So let's fire it up. I have put a USB stick in there with simple NAND flasher on there, so I'm going to dump the NANDs as well. So he's got a copy of them, the CPU key and the data and things, because we never provided with that one either. So this console, I believe, we bought off eBay for about £40. I ain't going to name anybody's names, it's not fair. But he did ask questions, and the guy said to him, well, it's rattling as soon as I took it out of the box. Yeah, and there you go. That's what we're rattling. A penny that were inside the DVD drive. And the wires all fell off, which we've seen. So I'm going to do that. Let's hope, fingers crossed, that this is going to work. Oh, is it in it? Oh yeah, oh, we've got boot, look. And the telly's turned off. So this has also got the bad avatar on here as well, which is probably working its wonders, but we can kind of ignore it. Why ain't the controller working? Let's try it in one of the rear ports in case there's something funny there. Yeah, that works now, look. We don't want to do network, can't bother with that now. Yeah, I have not put your 4 gig back on here yet, so don't worry about that. When we're going games, we want that. Where are we? Apps. Simple NAND flash, and then we can run that. Press any key if you want to dump, press X if you want to dump. Yeah, we want to dump. So that's going to dump us down as NANDs. So I can pass that on to him for him. So yeah, nothing wrong with the console, just completely bad wiring. If you don't get your solder joints done correctly, you form what they call a cold solder joint, or they will fall off, as you've seen. As I said, that guy, it was bought off eBay. I'm not going to name names as much as I would love to, but he said that the penny in there was DVD magnets that were rattling. Okay, and then when he's responded to him about it not booting anymore, he's got a response off him. Well, he must have dropped the console or something on them lines. Mentioned something about dropping a console, which is not really good at all, is it? I mean, if the guy that owns this wants to name and shame him in the comments, he's more than welcome to. More than welcome to, if you wish. So yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Sorry it's been such a long time. What I'm going to do is get this boxed up and parceled up and get it back to the lad that it belongs to. Once that's done, it's done. You should have a RGH console for Christmas. Yay! So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit the subscribe, thumbs up, all that stuff. Come and join us in Discord if you wish. The link's in the description. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Won't be as long next time, but we'll see you on the next one. Bye!